Hey everyone, it's Sean here from Teach Like Me, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's been going on with the campaign, as well as get you ready for Teach Like Me Day, which this year will be on Tuesday, May 2nd. So we've been real quiet lately, and half of that's intentional, half of it's unintentional. So I recently became a parent, and so shout out to all the parents, teachers out there who have to multitask and juggle lots of responsibilities. I love figuring it out, though. It's my favorite title ever. And the other part of it was stuff in education got really heavy for a while, and we didn't want to. Like, we were very cognizant of that, right? Like, we didn't want to be naive to the issues and pretend like everything was fine in public education when it's not. We faced some serious challenges. So we had to kind of refocus, figure out what we wanted to do with Teach Like Me. And we've got some ideas on how we think we can kind of shake it up a little bit. So with Teach Like Me Day approaching, again, Tuesday, May 2nd, what we're asking teachers to do the week beforehand is we're asking you to post or change your profile picture on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media accounts. And the goal on that one is, as always, is to just create some unity and that we have some uniformity and continuity across educators from coast to coast, and then build some anticipation for Teach Like Me Day, which in the past we've asked you to post positively. We want you to do that year round, really. But this year, what we want to challenge you guys to do is go live using Facebook, use video, use pictures. Now, of course, we want you to respect your students' privacy and their family's privacy. So, don't. I wouldn't necessarily maybe set up a camera in your classroom and have all your students on that. Although it's totally possible that with parent and district approval, maybe some of you could do something like that. But I'm thinking just kind of simplifying it. Like, you could go live during your plan, during break, before school, after school, whenever you can, to just show people what you're doing in your classroom, right? Because the idea is, like, a lot of people usually can't make it to my classroom, so I'm going to bring my classroom to the community, right? So here's an example of what I would do on Tuesday, May 2nd. I could go live. I'm holding my phone sideways so I have a maximum angle. Looks better on social media. And I could do something like this. Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Sheehan. Welcome to my classroom. For those of you who've never set foot in my classroom, let me show you around. I'm in room 509 at Norman High School in Norman, Oklahoma. I teach Algebra 1. This is my 6th year of teaching, and loving every minute of it, guys. And so two things I want to show off to you. First, I want to show you, this is my desk and stack of papers I still need to grade, but something I'm really proud of whenever I need just kind of a morale booster, feeling kind of down about what's going on in education. These are thank you notes, some of my favorite thank you notes from students. Just this year, I've got stacks of them, of course. And actually, I told you about that I was a new parent. The kids all signed this card here after my baby girl was born in October, and so that's just, this serves as my currency in this profession. Now, it's not a replacement for my low salary, of which I'm in a state that has very low salaries, but this means the world to me, and so I'm proud of that. And the second thing I want to show you guys is something we're actually doing in our algebra classes. We're trying to answer that question of, like, when are we ever going to use this, right? Like, we want to get away from just tests and quizzes and endless paper usage, and instead try to get a little bit more creative with it. Ideally, I would love to do some project-based learning, which a friend of mine in Kansas is doing, Justin Coffey, shout out. But this is kind of the starting point. So I want to allow students to express themselves artistically, and what you're looking at here is I tasked them with tracking a positive, negative, and no correlation over the weekend. And so what some students did, like, for example, this one was pretty straightforward. They said time spent charging the phone and the battery percentage. That one's a no-brainer. Then some got a little more creative, like amount of time I spend watching Teen Wolf, and the episodes I have left, or the amount of coffee. The more coffee you drink, the more hours you stay awake, so that sort of thing. Someone had done something really funny with, he said something like, the more I agitate my dad, like, the more he yells at me, or something like that, which I was like, I don't advocate for that. That's not a good move. I guess he had to stop doing it at some point. Someone tracked, like, the number of followers they have on Instagram and then the number of likes. I thought that was pretty clever. So we're trying to do more stuff like this, incorporating more artwork. And at the end of the day, really just having students identify, like, when am I going to ever use this stuff that I'm learning in Mr. Sheen's classroom? So this is us doing it. So that's pretty much it, guys. My door is always open. Again, there's my door. I'm in room 509. And I want to just offer my sincere thanks to my students, their families, and this community for supporting the work that we do here at Norman High School. So that would be it, right? Like pretty cut and dry. It's not anything scripted. It's not fancy. It's authentic, and I think that's what the community needs to see from us. Is they need to see just teaching in its purest form. And for those folks, the folks in the community that can't come down to our classrooms, like let's bring the classroom to them. This is public education, so let's make it public. So. As always, really appreciate you guys following the campaign, supporting the campaign. I'm hoping this year will be our biggest year yet. I want to see what teachers have to say from coast to coast. I want to see what you have to say in Washington State and California and Texas, Oklahoma, of course, Nebraska, Kansas, up to Minnesota and Michigan, down to Alabama and Mississippi and Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, Massachusetts, Maine. I'm just name dropping all these places I can think of. And then how cool would it be if we could go global? Like, I want to see some classrooms in Great Britain and Germany and the Netherlands and Finland, like if there's cool things going on in Finland, like Finland, can y'all go live, post some video on Facebook, show us what y'all are doing? So let's see it. Let's remind the world why we love this job so much. And you guys know what the reason is. You know that it's about the kids that fill these desks. For me, it's all about these guys who sit in these desks. I average about 31 students per class, and one I have 33, and I only have 32 desks in here, so one student sits in this chair right there at the back. We do what we can do. So, for those of you who you think you can handle this challenge, you're up for the challenge of teaching, you're up for the frustration, the exhaustion, but the rewards and the significant impact that you can make on a student's life, I challenge you guys to teach like me. So stay tuned for more big things. And we'll be following you. Use the hashtag.